Hi everyone, in this video we are going to be talking about 3D views, so how to view a 3D image from different ways. And so our essential question is, how do I determine 3D images based on, and let's just say, different views? Okay, so let's look at this first example. So right here we have a 3D image, a 3D object, and we can draw it as 2D images from different viewpoints. So if you think about the front, and I'm going to do some color coding, so if you would like to do this on your own notes, I encourage you to. So let's think about the front of it. So that's this blue space right here. So we've got 3 going across at the bottom, and then in the middle we've got 3 going up. So that's the same as what we have right here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase my colors, and we're going to look at a different view. So now we're going to look at it from the top. So this is called from a bird's eye view. And when we look at it from the top, you kind of have to imagine if you were to like fly over it, what it would look like. So we've got this piece coming up. However, if we're looking at it from the top, we can't really tell that that piece is coming up. It looks like there's 1 behind it and 2 to the right and the left of it. So that would create a rectangle that looks like this. It would be more even, but it would look like that. And that's what we have over here. So we have 2 on the left, 2 on the right. This would be the one that is taller, but you can't really tell when you're looking at it from the top, from bird's eye view. And then this is the one behind it. Okay, now let's use a different color to look at a different view. So we're going to look at the right side of this 3D object, and I'm going to use green. So if we were standing over here and we were looking at this side of the object, we would see 2 on the first row at the bottom. Then we would see this second layer, and we would only see this one on the left, and then we would see another one on top of it. So if I was to draw that over here, I'm going to draw this a little bit better for you. I have 2 cubes at the bottom, and I have this guy on the second row, and then another one on the third row, and that's what it looks like from the right. And that is also drawn right over here. Okay, now let's take a look at it as if we were looking at the 3D object from the left. So again, it looks like we have 2 cubes on the bottom, and as you can see, they are right here. So we have 2 on the bottom. But then we have this second level of cubes. We only have 1 of them, and it's on the right side. That's this guy right here. And then we have another level right above it. So the left side view would look just like this guy. And lastly, let's take a look at the image from the back. So if we were standing behind it, trying to think of what it would look like, well, we've still got 3 across at the bottom. So we've got 3 cubes, and then you're also going to see that second level cube in the middle, and then that third level cube in the middle. It just so happens that our back view and our front view look the same for this object, but that will not always happen. So you can't just count on having the same front view and back view. Okay, so these notes are just one page, and what we're going to do next is we're going to look at two different questions. These questions are giving us the different views, and we have to determine which 3D object it is referring to. So, given this front view where we have 2 on the bottom row, and then 1 on the right of the second row, it looks like this guy has, when we're looking at the front view, it looks like this guy has 2 cubes on the bottom, and then on the second row, there's only 1 on the right. So this passes the front view. Let's look at the second 3D object and see if it also passes the front view. Well, there are 2 right here, and then there's 1 on the right of the second row. However, we've got this whole other part of this 3D shape, so this one would not work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a red X through this guy. This is not going to work. We don't even need to test the other views. Okay, and then let's look at the third one. So the third one does have 2 on the bottom row. However, it doesn't have, on the second row, it has 1 on the left instead of having 1 on the right. So this is not going to work. We're also going to put a red X through this one. But what I want us to do is I want us to check the other views of this 3D shape and make sure they match. So now let's look at the top view. So if we were to look at it from a bird's eye view. If we were able to look at this from a bird's eye view, we would want to see 2 in the back, which would be the faces of those guys, and then 1 on the right in the front. And that's what we've got. So that does work. And guys, this is kind of one of those things where you have to train your brain to be able to see it. If you don't see it right away, just give yourself a moment to try to view this. And then this is also listing the right side. So if we look at it, I shouldn't have put that check mark, hold on just one second. If we're looking at it from the right side, we want 2 on the bottom, and then on the second row, we want 1 on the right, and if we look at this image, that's what we've got right there. It matches. So the first one, now I'm going to circle this in green. The first 3D object matches the 3 different views that are given. All right, so now let's take a look at this last question. You have to be careful because it's not always going to say the front view. The last 2 that we've done, it first said the front view. Just make sure you're reading it carefully because this one says left side view. So that's what we want to look at first. So if you were to stand over here, what you would see. Okay, so we want to see 3 on the bottom row. That's the first thing I'm going to look for. Well, this guy only has 2. So this already, I can already cancel this 3D object out. Okay, let's look at the second one. We're looking at the left side view. So if I was to put a little person right here, what it would look like. Okay, well, it looks like this guy only has 1 going across in the back, and we need 3 going across. We need 3 going across on the left side. So we can already cancel this one out as well. Okay. I know process of elimination would tell you that this is the right answer, but you never know. Sometimes we're tricky and there's no right answer, so that's why we need to check. Right, so if we have a person standing to the left, we have 3 going across, And then now let's look at seeing if we have one on the second row in the middle. And it looks like that's what we have. We have one in the second row in the middle. Okay, awesome. So that left side view works. Now let's take a look at the back view. So if we had a person, I'm going to erase real quick, hold on. So if we had a person standing back here and looking at the image from here, they would want to see the same exact thing. So they want to see 3 going across on the bottom. So let's look for that. So yep, we got 3 going across on the bottom, and then we've got this guy in the middle on the second row. All right, so this back view also works. And then lastly, it's listing the top view. So looking at it from a bird's eye view. So if I was to fly over this like a bird, what would I see? And what I would see is I would see a 3 by 3 square. So it is 3 on one side, 3 on the other, 3 on the other side, and 3 on the last side. Even though there is one in the middle that's sticking up as a bird, I couldn't really tell that. So the top view also matches. So I'm going to go ahead and erase what I have, and in green I'm going to circle that this is the correct 3D image that matches the views that were given. Alright guys, great job. Thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you were able to take notes along the way. I hope you have a good rest of your day.